Welcome everyone. Today we'll have a Genshin Impact News Digest. In today's News Digest, we'll look at some of the amazing gameplays with different Chinese players fighting Childe boss with level 80 with 1 HP with Xiangling, and also with Keqing, and also with a level 1 Fischl. I have also found a few of the other videos related to fighting Childe, and also a guide for us to learn how to dodge all of his attacks. After that, we'll look into some of the fun clips with fighting the weekly wolf boss, and also some of the dark talent ascension with the neutral monsters. Finally, we'll look into a clip of a bizarre situation with two of the events in the world, and also the different dialogues between the web event. I have managed to find us all of the web event dialogue, so if you're interested guys, we'll go through some of them and we'll look at how long it is. Look at this, it's a lot of dialogue for the web event. Now for most of us who has fought Childe before for the weekly boss event, what you realize is he doesn't have any weak spots, and unlike the other bosses, there seems to be a lot of mechanics with all three of his faces. Now as I was looking to make a guide for Childe boss, one of our viewers sent me this Chinese Bilibili video about how a level 60 1 HP Xiangling was able to fight the boss with level 80 Childe. Credits to the Chinese original content creator 寒雪无忆曲江南. And let's go through the clip. I'll turn down the music a little bit so it's not too loud. I'll take away the floating. So we won't go through everything, but right away you can see that Xiangling is on 1 HP with 13,000 HP. And this is a level 60 Xiangling. And she's gonna fight Childe. What's gonna happen is the Chinese content creator has counted all of Childe's moves, every single part. He knows the mechanics so nicely. He knows the random phases, he knows random attacks, he knows when he needs to break the shield. He's using a Xiangling with 1 HP, and he's also using a Bidu. Bidu over here is just to break Childe's shield with a Claymore user, and also to dodge an attack. So you saw the Bidu usage over there. Other times when Childe is going to land an instant attack and he can't dodge it, what he's going to do is he's going to swap into Bidu and use the shield just for a moment. And this is pretty incredible because I'm not sure if you guys saw this one. So at this moment, Childe is going to do an AoE attack. He swapped into Bidu almost instantly and then he dodged it. So you saw that he actually went into Bidu and he countered Childe's attack right away because he wasn't going to dodge it. He was just going to counter it. And he's going to repeat this throughout the fight, and this is quite amazing if you want to watch the whole thing. You saw it as a Bidu counter. So basically, there can be some attacks that he has difficulty countering, so he's going to use Bidu to retaliate. He doesn't take any damage. And as he moves around, it's actually quite incredible as he moves and dodges attacks. We're going to skip a little bit to the second phase of Childe. He knows that even with this Hydro Bubble, you do not take any damage while Childe is casting a Hydro Bubble. And as you can see, he's saying Childe is going to do a few of the random attacks at different circumstances, and this is when the best way to use your ultimate. So there's a lot of small details. This Chinese content creator has went into so much research to dodge everything with Childe, so he literally took no damage for the entire fight. Coming over to the final phase of Childe, and what we're going to see is he's going to talk about how Childe is going to blink too close to you or he's going to blink away. And you want to dodge the 3 chain attacks and dodge behind him, and be careful when Childe is blinking away for his range attacks like this, so you want to dodge sideways. So there's a lot of information. I wish I can translate the whole thing, but for now I'm just really amazed at how well he's learning the boss mechanics and how he can do it with not taking any damage. Over here he's going to show you how to dodge the whale. Basically coming down to the edge of the map and then going around the whale is the way to dodge it. Try to not go into the middle, and what's going to happen is he knows there's 4 types of range attacks from Childe, and by dodging those correctly, so confident. Look at this. I was panicking when this happened. I was like, I have to run everywhere. But look at him, he's so confident, and his Xiangling is not hitting for incredibly hard. You saw the usage of Bidu over here just to dodge the attack. She's hitting for about 200, a little bit, and Bidu did another retaliation to kill Childe, and it's incredible. I love it. So I really want to show you guys the clip. I didn't go through everything, but I highlighted a few of the key points. This really opened up for me to know, like, I'm not even playing the same game as the content creator over here. He's on the next level. He literally sees all the details and he was able to do it without taking any damage. Now the same content creator also created another melee replay with Keqing over here with a level 40 1 HP Keqing versus a level 80 Childe boss. It's very similar, but the good thing is he actually managed to make a slow-mo this time. and instead of using Bidu, which people say, oh, Bidu have, you know, the shield to protect you, he's using a Chongyang to defeat the boss with a shield. So again, it's about dodging with melee characters, which can be very difficult versus Childe. Now, if you haven't subscribed, this is a really good time to do so. Make sure you also turn the bell on for the latest news as I find more of them for us. You can see that we're really dedicated for Genshin Impact. We'll have builds, guides, tips, news, and events updates for everything that's Genshin Impact related. Now, if you're wondering, is it easier to use a ranged character against Childe? We also have a post made by TaZeir over here, and he's going to show you is he's going to show you a cheesy way to defeat Childe with Ember here. He literally leveled up a level 70 Ember, and this is probably a main DPS with a compound bow. The compound bow have the stats of increased attack speed and also damage as you attack, so you can see the little attacks over here. And this is a cheesy way because he's rotating at such angle around Childe. And this makes me like, oh, Ember can work. You go, girl. He's not using any of her skills. He's literally shooting Childe to death. Keep in mind, this is a level 70 Childe. So very, very lovely. I was like, huh. So melee character seems to do okay from the clip, and the range character does okay. Now, just to take it to the next level, we have another video on Bilibili by the Chinese creator 反坦克小黄鸡. What he's going to show us is he's going to show a level 1 Fischl versus a level 60 Childe. I mean, those guys are taking the game to the next level. You know, 1 HP, level 1, you know, no damage. And I won't show you guys the whole video. So basically, he's going to, you know, he's going to solo Childe with level 1, and he did not take any damage. So for the entirety of the fight, he did not take any damage. I was pretty amazed. So if you want a small reference for the fight for Childe, I'll have those links ready for you guys. They are in Chinese, but we can get an understanding the ways they play the melee characters like Keqing and also like Xiangling, and how they play Fischl to counter and dodge Childe. Now, of course, after seeing all those massive epic replays and, you know, plays, I want to try to fight Childe myself. So I recorded myself, you know, I was like, okay, I'm going to try to dodge all his spells. I'm going to try to, you know, take no damage. So seeing how I'm trying to dodge, I was like, I'm doing good. I'm doing really good. Then I died. So this is my first try. And the second try I had, I did much better than the first time. I was not dying, at least on the first phase. I'm doing okay. I'm making to the second phase. And this time I'm thinking, okay, maybe all of the things I learned is doing work, and I'm popping some potions, making sure I top up. I was still taking damage, of course, but you know, I didn't die. So I was like, okay, watching those clips is really helping me. And I was getting a little more overconfident, so I was like, hey, maybe I can make a guide for Childe as well. And then as the electricity hits me, I was like, oh gosh, I made a terrible mistake. So I died again. After trying twice and dying to Childe, I did eventually pass the fight, of course. So I didn't feel comfortable enough to make the guide for Childe yet first. So this is a news video instead of a guide video. Coming over to this post over here by Jackertud over here. So he shows us how to dodge the boss fight with Childe with all of the attacks, and this time it's in English. So if you guys are interested, because I wasn't able to make a great guide for us, so I found a post that gave us a good guide. Unfortunately, he didn't speak much during the video, but he does show a lot of text writing. So he basically shows you what you should be aware of at what moment. So you can see here, he talks about the whale attack, how you want to maintain distance, how you want to go to the side. So very similar to what the Chinese player is saying as well. If you do have trouble with Childe, do come over to this video. Don't have to go through everything. I recommend find the parts you have trouble with. Let's say if you die into the whale. Let's say if you die into his second phase. Let's say if you die into his third phase. So find the part which you have trouble with, go to the text and try to practice a little bit. Because it doesn't cost us to fight Childe a few times, and once we get used to it, we get much better. Now that we had a look at some of those masterful gameplays of fighting Childe, let's come to this fun video by bulwix over here. How did he fight the weekly wolf boss? I was pretty amazed by it actually, so let's have a quick look. He did include a very nice music too, so let's have a watch. It's like, from Matrix, he's starting to believe. I love the music. You know how the wolf charges? And he did such good slow-mo. Look at that. I mean, I was pretty amazed. So what happened was basically with the wolf boss, and if you guys know, with the wolf boss, he will have 3 circles around you as his middle phase, and as he charges at you, you can try to like dash away. And instead of dashing, he used Venti and he flew up. And I was like, oh my gosh, he could do that. But to add, I was able to do something similar, but not exactly. I had Klee and I had a bit of the light mines on the side of the road. And when the wolf actually started to circle me, he landed on the mines and he stopped charging. So I cancelled all 3 of his charge animations and he jumped in right away. So I cancelled all of the charges, but I wasn't able to record that. What I'll do is next time if I'm streaming, I'll show you guys the mechanics. So before the wolf starts to charge, you lay some mines, lay some damage on the floor, and hit a run around you. He will take the damage and he will cancel all of his charging. So a very lovely clip over here actually to dodge everything. Next up, we have a short clip by HappyFace104 about this duck has unlocked his Ascension talent. You know there's a lot of wild animals in the wild, and if you kill the birds, kill the ducks, they drop a lot of meat. So basically a friend here is trying to kill some of the ducks. And this duck has obtained the aura. Look at this duck. It's raining like hydro things. And this other duck is like, what are you doing, dude? This duck is like the next level duck. What I assume happened is he probably used one of his child's skills and something happened. Some weird interaction happened to the duck and the duck stopped taking damage and became this moving idle raining machine. And it doesn't take any damage too. So unlock that Ascension talent. No Diluc, no Chi-Chi, no one can kill the duck. Duck goes where duck goes. And Chi-Chi throws the duck. And Chi-Chi killed the duck. So eventually we found out freezing and killing the duck still kills his super duck boss. Next up, we have a clip by Seoulfege over here about Clarice has never seen this format before. So what happened is, likely, if you guys didn't know, there is a wild NPC in the field and she runs around across the field at a certain distance. If you speak to her, you can buy some of the herbs. They do reset in a few days, so if you're short on herbs, you can check out our vendor video. But for this one, because he's escorting the transport balloon and she's running around, there's a very strange interaction now. And basically the transport balloon is pushing the NPC back. And this is pretty silly, right? The transport balloon can push you back as well, but this is so silly. So what happens is the NPC interacts with the balloon, and because of that, a lot of funny activities can happen in the world when 2 events collide. And this is one of those. It's just literally walking backwards, like moonwalking. And as a final reminder guys, the web event is finishing and I'm sure most of you have claimed all of the rewards for the web event. And there's a lot of nice dialogues with the characters. So over here, the post by VsKatshuma is talking about Paimon speaking to Childe. Paimon is saying, hey, would Paimon ever do something like that? Besides, Paimon already asked the waiter, no outside ingredients allowed. And Childe says, oh, is that so? Then how did you manage to get in? And there's a reference for the amazing food of Paimon. And I love those little dialogues with the web event. Over here you can see one of the replies over here is saying, I'm doing all of the assignments to see different dialogue options. And I thought about, hey, I like those little dialogues. Why don't we try to search up all of the dialogues? So if you come to the fan over here, every dialogue that's in the web event is included here. So if you're interested guys, go through them so you don't have to be like our friend here try to do all of the options again to see the dialogues. You can see all of the options over here if you pick something. There's small images, there's another more writing, there's a lot more for different side things. So every option is included here if you want to have a quick read of the web event. But the fun part is we can see all the dialogue with Zhongli and Childe because we pick different options. And sometimes we might have missed a few options because we didn't pick those. So you can catch up on everything over here. And all the way up to the final ending with a special story at the end. To summarize today's news digest, we had a look at the possibilities of fighting a level 80 Childe with only 1 HP, the combo with Xiangling and Bidu, the 2 4-star characters, and also Keqing and Chunwing over here fighting with 1 HP. We also had a look at the power of Ember fighting Childe without taking any damage by spinning around him, and also the ability to fight Childe with level 1 Fischl against him. We also had a look at some of the fun clips with the wolf boss, with the interaction of the ascension of the mighty Adaptai duck, and also we had a few clips about the NPCs and different events interacting, and finally we had a look at the web event and where can you see all of the dialogues for the web event. Now if you found this video helpful, make sure you subscribe and also turn the little bell on for the latest news. I'll be looking towards to make more builds, guides, tips and news and event updates for us as we come further into the game. And as always, I wish you guys the best of luck with Keqing and have the most fun in exploring this wonderful world.